scrub the kitchen, and 20 minutes later, it auto-resets itself back to chaos like someone hit undo. Familiar, I was stuck in that loop, too. Cleaning to exhaustion while drawers jammed, and every morning felt like starting from zero. Then, I changed a few tiny details, no fancy gadgets, no extra spending, and the kitchen began to stay tidy almost on its own. In this video, I'll share specific micro swaps and simple habits that cut clutter, shorten your traffic flow, and help your space stay neat longer without buying more stuff. I've tested these in a real busy home of 4, and we haven't needed a weekend deep clean rescue in weeks. These tips are built for real life, especially if you're overwhelmed, have little ones, or only have 10 minutes at a time. The first tip is oddly satisfying and something you can try tonight. Don't miss it. And if you like content that makes your home calmer and your mind lighter, hit subscribe to follow along. First up, you know this feeling. It's 10 p.m., your eyes are heavy, and the fridge is jammed with giant containers guarding a single brownie square or half a slice of lasagna. You nudge and shimmy until it fits. In the morning, you open the door and things lurch forward like they're mocking you. It's not that you're messy, it's that every leftover moment adds one more bulky bop, one more orphaned lid, one more tiny drain on your patience. Here's the 2-second fix. Flip the container, lay the lid flat to make a base, then invert the glass bowl over the food like a cloche. No extra plate, no plastic wrap, nothing new to wash. 3 moves: place the lid, set the food on top, cap it with the upturned bowl, done. Your leftover stays covered and clean, but it only takes the space it actually needs instead of swallowing half a shelf. Last night, we had exactly 1 brownie square left. Old me would have wrapped it "Hello Extra Trash" or parked it in a 1.6-liter box. Goodbye fridge space. Now the lid becomes the base. The bowl flips over, 2 seconds total. In the morning, my kid wants it. I lift the bell, hand it over, and nothing crumbles, nothing sticks, and there's no extra dish to wash. Tiny change, huge exhale. The fridge stops looking like a few bites and a sea of boxes. This hits 2 real pain points in a busy kitchen: bulky storage and cleanup fatigue. When stashing leftovers takes seconds instead of effort, you save end-of-day energy, cut the visual noise in your fridge, and you don't start tomorrow inside a mess you didn't make. You're not undisciplined, you just needed a way to shrink the footprint of tiny things. Next up, now that we've shrunk the space for leftovers, let's shrink the number of lids. 1 lid that fits multiple pots and pans, measured once and labeled, inside the cabinet so your shelves and your wallet can finally breathe. And while your shelves and your budget finally get to breathe, save a little of that ease for a gentle weekend reset tomorrow, a Clean with Meat style session you can follow in real time, timer on, quiet playlist. No perfection pressure, so the chores that usually hang over your Saturday are quietly done before lunch. Set a reminder. Skipping it is like leaving free time on the table. Shifting gears. Let's retire the lid hunt and make one workhorse lid do the job for most of your everyday pots and pans. The aim is simple: fewer decisions, calmer drawers, and no more matching lids that only match your regret. Pick a sturdy medium lid, stainless if you want indestructible tempered glass, if you like to see what's going on with a gentle rim so it hugs different cookware well. Measure the inner opening of the pieces you actually use, not the whole collection, just your real rotation. Then write a tiny map on a sticker inside the cabinet door: main lid, sauté pan, small Dutch oven, soup pot. Park the lid vertically in a slim organizer beside the stove so your hand moves once and dinner keeps moving. For a simmer, leave the lid barely cracked to let steam drift out. For a quick boil, seal it and lift a corner if it threatens to foam. In my kitchen, 1 everyday lid covers 3 workhorses. I labeled the cabinet, slid the lid into a vertical slot, and the rummaging routine ended. Water boils faster, curries settle into a steady burble, and I quietly skipped buying a perfect lid that would have lived at the back of a drawer. The real win is emotional. This erases decision fatigue. Which lid? Where is it? Will it fit? And shrinks. Storage bloat. 1 lid per pot is how drawers explode. A simple label means anyone in the house can put things back correctly. Your system survives weeknights, not just tidy Sundays. With the covering solved, let's talk crispy golden finishes without another fragile dish. Time to put a humble broiler pan to work in place of a casserole. Now when you want that golden crackly top that actually pulls people to the table, but you don't want another fragile dish to soak, use a broiler pan. It's the two-piece kind with a perforated top over a shallow tray. The setup handles high heat, lets excess fat drip away, and finishes food under broil in minutes, so you keep the restaurant finish without the casserole headache. Here's the flow in plain English. Slide your oven rack high so the food sits close enough to brown without burning. Assemble the pan line the bottom tray with parchment for easy cleanup and set the perforated top over it. Bake the food until it's almost done. You're aiming for 90 to 95% cooked, so the broil step is about color and texture, not catching up on doneness. Switch to broil for a minute or two, keep the light on, and watch color turns fast. Pull the pan. Let the food rest a couple of minutes so the crust sets. Then hit it with something bright, a squeeze of lemon, or savory, a dusting of Parmesan while it's still hot. In a real kitchen, this looks like yogurt lemon chicken baked until just cooked through, then broiled briefly, so the edges caramelize and the center stays juicy, no casserole dish needed. Or a tray of vegetables roasted nearly tender, showered with Parmesan, then broiled for 60-90 seconds to get that salty, crunchy jacket kids actually eat. Even salmon gets a last-minute glow-up bake to tender brush on a thin honey miso glaze and broil for a quick lacquer without overcooking the flesh. What it solves emotionally is simple, fewer delicate pieces to baby, fewer pans to soak, and a finish that makes a weeknight feel worth sitting down for. The pan itself is thin and tough. You can store it upright in a file rack so you're no longer wrestling a tower of bakeware to reach one thing at the bottom. Less friction at 6 p.m. means more energy for the people you're feeding, not the dishes you're dreading. With the crisping part streamlined, let's hand the sheet pan the week's heavy lifting, big batch eggs, freezer-ready dumplings, even using one tray as a lid for another. From here, let the sheet pan carry the week so you don't carry it on your shoulders. Start with sheet pan eggs for breakfast and quick sandwiches. Lightly oil or line the pan, whisk a dozen eggs with a pinch of salt, and a splash of milk, pour and bake until just set. Let it cool, cut into squares, and stack in a lidded container with parchment between layers. In the morning, toast bread warm a square in the pan you're already using, and you've got a real breakfast in under 2 minutes. No scrambling, literally, no mess. Use the same tray to freeze dumplings flat so they don't glue themselves into a lump. Sprinkle a little flour or line with parchment, lay the dumplings in a single layer and freeze until firm. Then tip them into a bag or box. They stay separate, cook evenly, and you only took the tray out for 5 minutes. Bonus when you're shaping a batch at home, the sheet pan is your parking lot that slides right into the freezer, zero balancing acts. And when you're short, a cover turn one tray into a lid for another. Slide the smaller pan of leftovers onto a shelf cabinet with the larger tray, and you've made a flat reusable cover that keeps smells contained without plastic wrap. It's the same logic as the flip the container trick, just scaled up. Why this helps on a heavy weeknight: you remove 3 friction points at once. Breakfast indecision, freezer chaos, and random lids using one object you already own. The tray stores vertically in a slim file rack, wipes clean in seconds, and quietly prevents tomorrow's mess while you're still in today. Moving on, if the sheet pan handles the weekly basics, the muffin pan takes care of smart portions and quick flavor boosts. Think multi-purpose cups and hands-off roasted garlic you can use all week. Next, skip the specialty molds and let your muffin pan do the smart work, portioning, holding shape, and building flavor you can pull from all week. Lightly oil the cups, then turn breakfast into a batch job, sauté a little veg, or use last night's leftovers. Scatter a bit of shredded cheese. Pour beaten eggs just to the rim and bake until gently set. Cool pop them out and layer them in a lidded container with parchment between layers. On weekday mornings, a 30-second reheat in the skillet you're already using means a real breakfast without scrambling, literally. The same tray shapes tidy portable bites for later press, warm rice into the cups, Add flaked salmon or chopped veggies with a dab of mayo and bake a few minutes so the tops dry slightly. You get clean little rice cups that don't crumble in small hands. For dinner prep portion, meatloaf mix or meatballs straight into the cups and bake all at once. Every serving is already sorted, so there's no weighing or guessing after the oven is off. For flavor on standby roast, whole heads of garlic right in the pan, no foil. Slice the tops, drizzle with oil, and a pinch of salt, and seat each head in its own cup. Invert a second muffin pan on top as a lid so steam softens the cloves, then roast until jammy. Squeeze the cloves into a small jar cover with olive oil, and you have a week's worth of instant depth for sauces, dressings, and quick breads. Cleanup stays easy. A brief soak with warm soapy water, a soft brush dry, and slide the pan upright into a file rack so you don't drag out a whole stack to reach one tray. Why this matters: on a tired weeknight, the muffin pan shrinks, decisions, cuts stovetop time, and keeps the fridge orderly because the food is portioned at the source. You're not cooking then, portioning, then hunting for the right container. You bake, and it's already portioned, energy saved at the exact hour you're running low. Moving forward, once portions are under control, it's time to upgrade the core cookware so cooking feels better and gear lasts longer. Starting with a cast iron skillet that sears beautifully and doesn't need replacing every year. Now that portions are handled, let's upgrade the core tool. You touch most your everyday skillet. A single cast iron pan can replace the annual churn of flimsy nonstick, give you better browning, and survive the chaos of a real kitchen. Think fewer pans to store fewer coatings to baby and food that actually tastes like dinner. Here's how to make it easy and drama-free. Preheat the pan for 3 to 4 minutes on medium cast iron, like a calm warm-up. Add a thin film of oil and wait until it shimmers. That's your go signal. For eggs, slide the heat down a notch. Give the surface a micro slick of oil or butter, and let the eggs tell you when they're ready if they release with a gentle shake, flip, or fold. For a fast weeknight, sear pat chicken thighs or tofu dry season and press them into the hot surface without nudging for 2-3 minutes. The crust forms, then they lift willingly. Quesadillas, low-medium heat, no lid, and a patient toast on each side. Cheese melts, tortilla crisps, nothing sticks. Cleaning is simpler than it sounds. While the pan is warm, wipe out crumbs with a paper towel splash in a little hot water and use a soft brush for any fond. Dry on the burner for a minute, then rub in a drop of oil with a cloth until the surface looks satiny, not slick. That's your mini seasoning that keeps the pan non-stickish and rust-free without a whole ritual. No soaking, no special soap, no panic, just a 60-second reset that pays you back next time you cook. In a real week, this means fewer moments at 6 p.m. The pan that sears your chicken on Monday is the same one that glides a spinach omelet on Tuesday and toasts Friday's grilled cheese without a fight. You stop budgeting for yet another nonstick every year, and your cabinet stops swallowing space for backups you don't love. Most importantly, meals move faster because heat is predictable and cleanup is automatic. And if one great pan simplifies cooking, one great knife simplifies prep even more. Let's trade a drawer of one-off gadgets for a sharp blade and 3 basic cuts next. On prep, skip the egg slicer, the garlic press, and the banana cutter. Let a sharp knife do the work with 3 moves that cover almost everything: slice, dice, and mince. The tool isn't new. The difference is sharpness and technique. Keep it sharp in 2 minutes a week. Run the edge along a honing rod or stone for 60 to 120 seconds, then test by shaving a thin strip off a sheet of paper. If it glides, you're good. A sharp blade means less force, more control, and counterintuitive, but true, safer hands than a dull one. For a clean sliced cucumber, carrot, onion, anchor the knife tip near the board and use a smooth pull-push arc, letting the heel finish each stroke. You get even rounds without dragging out a mandoline. For a fast dice onion, make 3-4 lengthwise cuts toward the root, don't cut through it. Add 1 to 2 horizontal cuts, then go crosswise, perfect little cubes in seconds, no chopper to assemble or wash. For a fine minced garlic, smash the clove under the flat of the blade peel. Sprinkle a pinch of salt for friction and use a relaxed rocking motion until it's as fine as you want. Set yourself up so the board works with you. Use a heavy, non-slip board tuck, a damp towel underneath. Grip the handle close and pinch the blade where it meets the handle for control, and keep a small compost bowl or bag right by the board so peels and ends slide off in one sweep. The counter stays clear. You don't pace back and forth to the trash. Real home pace, and on a rushed night, I slice a whole cucumber for salad in 45 seconds, no mandolin, dice an onion in about a minute, and mince 3 cloves of garlic with a pinch of salt, under 3 minutes of prep done. When I used single-purpose gadgets, I spent more time assembling, disassembling, and washing than actually cutting. Why this matters: you reduce cleanup kill decision fatigue, which tool now, and lower risk because a keen edge doesn't skid. 1 good knife plus 3 smooth moves equals a drawer that breathes a tidier kitchen and that quiet, competent feeling every time you cook. Next, with prep streamlined, let's retire the parade of one-off appliances and put one multi-purpose machine in charge of blending, mixing, and shredding instead of a lineup of tiny gadgets. At this point, instead of dragging out a parade of one-trick appliances, banana slicer, mini chopper, tiny mixer crown, one multi-purpose machine as your workhorse, and build a simple one machine. 3 jobs planned for the week. Start by choosing the tool that fits your kitchen, not your fantasy. In a small space with quick cleanup, a stick blender with a small chopper cup is perfect. Blend soup. Right in the pot, chop onions, garlic, nuts, and whisk mayo or dressings. If you batch cook a food processor with a couple of blades, is the powerhouse chop, veg slice, or shred. Even knead soft dough, replacing 3 or 4 small gadgets at once. If smoothies and silky sauces are your thing, a mid-power blender keeps mornings and salad dressings effortless. Now set a tiny, repeatable cadence. Sunday 15 minutes, blitz a do-everything sauce, yogurt, garlic, lemon, pre-chop aromatics for 2 dinners, and shred poached chicken or tofu for salads, tacos. Midweek 10 minutes, spin a fresh dipping sauce pulse, a meatball/fish cake mixture, and shred vegetables for a roast tray. Right before dinner, 3 minutes, whisk a quick mustard mayo glaze for fish, or use the stick blender to puree soup in the pot. No transfers, no extra pans. Lock in the 90-second clean so you actually use the machine half fill with warm water. Add a drop of soap. Run 10-15 seconds. Rinse and air dry upside down. If cleaning is fussy, you'll stop using it, so make this muscle memory. For storage, keep 1 base plus 2 attachments, blade and whisk, and stand them upright in a utensil can or slim file rack near an outlet. Wrap the cord with a tiny Velcro tie so it never snakes around the drawer. A real home snapshot. Sunday night, the food processor chops onion plus carrot plus a few mushrooms in 45 seconds for a meat sauce. The same bowl then pulses poached chicken into tidy shreds in 8 taps for 2 quick meals. On Wednesday, the stick blender goes straight into a pot of squash soup. No pouring back and forth, no extra pot to wash. 3 jobs, 1 machine. Why this works on your headspace: fewer which tool decisions, less sink time, 1 cup and blade instead of 3 different gadgets, and less cabinet clutter. The weekly rhythm repeats itself so you're not reinventing your process every time you cook. Up next with the electric simplified and on a schedule. Let's make fresh produce feel safer with 1 tiny move, a proper baking soda wash that cleans the surface without stealing more of your time. To keep your kitchen flow light, add 1 tiny move that makes eating fresh feel safer without stealing time: a baking soda soak for smooth-skinned fruits and veggies, apples, grapes, cucumbers, tomatoes. Here's the everyday version. Fill a bowl with cold water deep enough to cover the produce, stir in a teaspoon of baking soda until dissolved, and submerge. Soak 12-15 minutes while you handle something else at the stove. For delicate berries, keep it to 5 to 7 minutes so they don't waterlog. Finish with a gentle rub and a thorough rinse under running water. Dry well, especially if you want crisp fruit before storing. Save long soaks for smooth skins. Leafy greens do best with a brisk rinse. A splash of vinegar or salt if you like, not a bath that turns them soggy. Make it friction-free. Pair the soak with another task. It runs in the background while dinner bakes. Do a mini batch on Sunday night: apples, grapes, cucumbers to cover the next 3 to 4 days. Keep a teaspoon in a baking soda jar parked near the sink so you're never hunting tools. Real home snapshot early in the week, I soak 6 apples and a bunch of grapes while a tray of vegetables roasts. At the 15-minute mark, I rinse dry and box them with a paper towel. For the next 3 mornings, breakfast is a grab-and-go, no last-minute washing at the sink. Why it helps you lower the mental noise around raw produce, avoid constant one-off rinses, and reduce waste by storing fruit dry instead of sealing in moisture. It folds into the 15 minutes you already spend in the kitchen. No extra gadgets, no extra waiting. With produce handled, the last piece is our end-of-day rhythm, a simple 10-minute reset, so tomorrow's kitchen greets you calm and clear. To keep your kitchen flow light, add one tiny move that makes eating fresh feel safer without stealing time: a baking soda soak for smooth-skinned fruits and veggies. Apples, grapes, cucumbers, tomatoes. Here's the everyday version. Fill a bowl with cold water deep enough to cover the produce, stir in a teaspoon of baking soda until dissolved, and submerge. Soak 12 to 15 minutes while you handle something else at the stove. For delicate berries, keep it to 5 to 7 minutes so they don't waterlog. Finish with a gentle rub and a thorough rinse under running water. Dry well, especially if you want crisp fruit before storing. Save long soaks for smooth skins. Leafy greens do best with a brisk rinse, a splash of vinegar or salt if you like, not a bath that turns them soggy. Make it friction-free. Pair the soak with another task. It runs in the background while dinner bakes. Do a mini batch on Sunday night, apples, grapes, cucumbers, to cover the next 3 to 4 days. Keep a teaspoon and a baking soda jar parked near the sink so you're never hunting tools. Real home snapshot: early in the week, I soak 6 apples and a bunch of grapes while a tray of vegetables roasts. At the 15-minute mark, I rinse dry and box them with a paper towel. For the next 3 mornings, breakfast is a grab-and-go, no last-minute washing at the sink. Why it helps you lower the mental noise around raw produce, avoid constant one-off rinses, and reduce waste by storing fruit dry instead of sealing in moisture. It folds into the 15 minutes you already spend in the kitchen. No extra gadgets, no extra waiting. With produce handled, the last piece is our end-of-day rhythm, a simple 10-minute reset, so tomorrow's kitchen greets you calm and clear. We've walked through small practical shifts that make a kitchen feel lighter. Nothing perfect, just real. You don't have to change everything. One tiny change today is enough to begin. If you're trying to save time on chores and clear some mental space, take it one step at a time at the pace that fits your life. When you're ready, explore more of this kind of content and pick another small corner to ease next bit by bit it adds up. If this helped a quick, lets me know what truly supports you. And if you want gentle, doable ideas in your feed, you're welcome to subscribe. Tomorrow brings a light weekend reset you can move through alongside me, simple loops, steady pace, the kind of calm you feel on Sunday morning. It's short, practical, and surprisingly energizing. Come back for it missing. This one is how the weekend ends up cleaning you instead of the other way around.